Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers. What you gonna say?
I ain't gonna say nothing. Forgive the cough, but it's gonna happen today.
I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
Man, your presence hurts my feelings. We got to be nice today because we're in the presence
Is it because I'm black?
Sophisticated. Yeah, probably.
Wow, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into?
The good thing is she spent so much time with us that this is going to be second nature for her.
Of course.
Welcome. Sipping on Excellence.
To Sipping
Another episode. Dude, this is what? Episode 82. 83.
That's what she said. Happens when I don't get any sleep.
Ooh, shit.
Oh, boy.
Maybe I should sip.
Oh, my
go.
God. That's right.
Right, we can't even cheers.
go.
She's like, I gotta take a sip.
In case y'all haven't figured it out today, we got a special guest. We gonna get to that. Fuck it. Let's get to it now.
Yes.
Dear friend, many years, colleague, just an extraordinary person. She's gonna talk to us. We're gonna dive deep into the realm of beauty, men and women alike, and how unreal shit is on social media.
How real it's unreal.
Yeah, right?
It's like we're gonna live in this unreal world. This is my reality.
So, y'all out there, welcome, Gohar Abrahamyan.
Hello.
Say that 5 times faster.
Oh, I could.
Okay.
I've been
He
saying
said
it for
it
years.
so long. He could. He sure could.
Before we dive deep, G, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your background? Because I don't think Coach knows as much. Just kind of.
I want to be left.
I don't tell him a lot because I want him to be able to have a conversation off the cuff. So.
Okay. I'm Gohar. I'm 5'8".
Like I'm 5'8".
I'm a Capricorn.
I am.
Are you really?
How did you know that? It's my energy. It's my Capricorn energy.
I don't know.
I'm a neurosurgery PA since 2004. That's where I met the Hunts. Mm-hmm. And then I've been in the aesthetic world as well since 2007.
Okay.
The reason why I started to inject is because I wanted a beautiful balance between the chaos.
Well, when you say when you say inject, tell everybody kind of exactly
An aesthetic injector. What that means is people want me to make them look like filters.
Well, she's being honest though.
Yeah.
I'm being very honest and transparent, and if I take one more sip, I will probably be a little more transparent.
Well, you know what?
That's why we're here.
Why don't we cheers first? Why don't we cheers this moment? Because
Yes, because this is a special moment.
This is a very special moment because we're about to get into
So,
this.
you guys, what we're having today, the sip of the day is literally just a great extra Anejo Tequila on the rocks. Mm-hmm. Special guest request.
Thank
Cheers to you guys.
Yes.
My drink of
Cheers
choice.
to you guys. Let's roll. Oh, we about to get loose.
Let's dive into this filtration.
And those
world.
of you guys out there who are going to be watching us on YouTube, you can see that she's stunning. And so you'll see as she talks about it why there's a lot of bullshit out there. So listener, because you've been doing this a long time. And this is probably mostly for you dudes. Because women know this. No, I'm saying women know this.
Am I breaking women code by doing this?
Hell no, we break man law all the
Put me on
time.
the spot.
We break man law all the time. Because what we're doing, I don't say we break man law.
Girls are going to hate me after this.
We educate.
No. Because we're guys. If that's the case, they're still gonna go for it anyway.
Guys catfish too.
Oh, for
God.
sure.
Oh, a lot.
Oh yeah.
And today live, I'm going to show
He's the number one catfisher in the
what
world
we
right
did
now.
with you with filters, and I want your reaction on
People, I'm scared.
that. Yeah. Exactly.
Is that one yours?
It is. I might want
grab her
to
phone?
Okay.
grab it.
Yeah, and so it's wild
Thank you.
because we every week when we're on live, we talk about how people are, for some reason, somebody comes on and catfish me, that kind of thing. And there's one particular who we've had to block from everything because she got scammed, says she got scammed out of 110 grand by somebody pretending to be me.
So
and
then she started coming
after him
as well.
Oh, crazy.
Sending me the emails.
There's probably 5 to 7 fake accounts I get shut down every week. And because of that is why, like I said, when a good friend of mine works for Facebook and helped me get verified, and it helped that streamline of shutting people down. Because before it was like always, oh no, they're not doing anything against the family code or whatever Instagram says. And it literally was getting out of hand. And they're doing it on Facebook, they're doing it on dating apps, taking my pics and then and it was, this is probably one of the last times we really get deep into the scam issue, because it would beat a dead horse now because it keeps coming up.
They put your photo on a dating app?
Oh.
Did you see the
all the time.
Something swindler.
Tinder swindler. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But at least he was real.
He was his real
These
photo.
people are taking mine and having relationships
He's so
with
good
women.
looking. That's why they do that.
Oh, see, that's why that's my girl.
Anyway, so what I saw
It's like
was
Jet Magazine. Check it.
Oh.
my part. So I get the emails, and she's sending me all these screenshots of things he said. I'm like, well, we know this is not him because he don't use the word love this loosely. I was like, oh my God.
Facts.
My queen. I was like,
Pass on my queen.
You know better than that.
That's why
You know better than that.
I'd be like, there's no way. That's Lele. If it was, I don't know what he was smoking.
There's zero chance
Exactly.
that I'm calling somebody publicly on Facebook and all that.
Right.
My queen.
And then also
I've
Facebook.
never heard. I mean, you wouldn't even
That's not
call
my-
anybody my
that's-
queen
that's
when
not my term.
If they were your queen, probably.
Yeah, that's just not.
Yeah, no, it was
That's
quite
not what I
entertaining,
do.
Nonetheless. Anyway, that's it with that one.
So sweet. Thank you. Because I'm like, it doesn't look right. Thank you.
Now we got it.
Thank you.
All right.
Just adjusting some stuff here.
For the 5'8".
You want to speak into the microphone?
Thank you.
Don't worry, I got
There
it
we
back
go.
up. Where's that from?
Perfect. Oh, you do movies too?
Dude, hold on. She quotes movies.
I learned from you guys.
Oh yeah, we used to quote them
And
all the
what's my
time.
favorite? Badges.
Badges? Bad Boys.
You want badges?
That one and Welcome to Hell, bitch.
or like, you disappoint me, Jenny. We had so much fun.
Oh my
together.
God.
You got me coughing now. Oh
much
boy.
fun.
Oh lordy. Y'all funny.
Man, we have lived life. We have a good time. Let's dive into kind of the meat of this topic. What would you say? Because we're all old enough to remember a time before social media.
I'm not that old. You maybe. I ain't that old. Just kidding. It's the tequila.
Oh, now we go blame it on alcohol.
She took 2 sips.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's me. So there you go.
So, what would you say the transition of how? Because first it was just Photoshop, and it was very rudimentary, little things that you could do to kind of tweak, and you could always tell. Yeah, that, and then there's Facetune came next, and now it's going to get to the point where now you have, think about it, you're on IG now, and they have full accounts of CGI models that are just AI. There's no real people. And so you could be getting catfished by some little dude who designed his own person and just put it there and had a profile, and that's not even a real person. They don't even have to steal people's pictures anymore. It's kind of crazy, and so it's one of those things where's this going to go in your business? What would you see? Well, first, before the filters and all that, what would you say is the number one reason people come to see you?
Before the filters? They want to age gracefully. They don't want to show signs of aging. A lot of people say, I want my face to match my personality and not so much my age. And I love that time because little tweaks here, little tweaks there. I enhance what was lost, what time took away. A little volume here, a little volume there. That was it. Some skincare, glowing skin before all the filters came out. But now it's crazy. The understanding of what beauty is to people, there is no end point. I don't even know what beauty is at this point.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think defines beauty?
Honestly, you know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I have it all over my office. A beautiful mind and a kind heart outshines a beautiful face anytime, anywhere. That's true beauty to me.
Yes.
That's bad. So, but in this world of Instagram, Snapchat, filters, beauty has become something completely different. You look at old Hollywood, Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe, all beautiful women. And if you take those women now and you see them on Instagram, they filter their faces. They filter Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen that, but I'm just
Insane.
like, that's crazy.
And they look even better.
Yeah.
But when is it enough? When do you stop? And when I see women and men alike walking outside, looking like Maleficent, just not normal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I don't blame them because all these Instagram filters have created insecurities in the most secure people.
Insta securities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Insta glamours have
Yes.
created insecurities. Yes. And so I don't blame them because for whatever reason they became insecure. For if it was their husband scrolling to Instagram liking girls' photos with big booties, and the girls are like, oh, well, maybe that's what I should do. If it was that or whatever it is, I don't blame them.
Right.
Yeah.
I blame their provider because in my business, this is a cash, very lucrative, recession-proof business.
Wow.
You might not want to go get your back operated on, but you're not going
You're
to
get something
on
fixed.
your Botox.
Right.
There's
No way.
Right.
And I don't blame these people because, again, insecurities, vulnerability, and what bugs me the most is that the provider, they catch a little glimpse of that and they capitalize on that. Ooh, let's kick the puppy while it's down. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
And they don't say it's enough.
Yeah.
And I actually praise myself, and I learned from the Hunts. I've been around them for so long. They used to say, you guys are the surgeons that don't like to operate. They say no more to surgeries than yes. While other surgeons went around and said, there's a disc, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
I literally was about to ask that
You
question.
don't need that. And if you go on Yelp reviews, most of the people have written that about me. Like, I'll be very transparent. I'll be very honest. You don't need that. And if I think it's not going to look good on you, at the end of the day, for a self-surgeon, that's my handwriting on your face. You're not going to walk out looking with for Maleficent or
they're your
lips.
walking billboard.
Not going to happen.
You know? And it's kind of crazy because people are doing things that are trendy. And what I mean by that, there was a time when bigger was better when it came to, say, like cosmetic surgery, breast implants, et cetera. And then it became, no, now it's more sort of what fits your frame.
Right.
So the whole Pamela Anderson look from back in the day isn't cool anymore, but it was then. Same thing with when Kim K came along, everybody wanted a giant butt. And so everybody started getting, people getting injected cement in their ass. Getting injections in their garage.
Out of country, they get illegal things.
And have
whatever, I
horrific
don't mind the illegal stuff, but the way they look, and I don't want to drop names, but there are people that have used that, and it's taken them forever to get that stuff out of their butts.
Yeah.
And then when giant, tiny little waist, big old butt, tiny legs. When people start realizing that
That's
actually
not
looks weird,
Yeah.
now it's no longer the in thing. People are trying to figure out, how do I become more proportioned?
Well, I mean, even on Botch, the show, the woman that had the butt implant that flipped, that she was showing the flip, she actually was on the show. She had some psychological issues she was really going through, and they were like, "You need to get some help."
Well,
It's
what's
like,
crazy,
okay.
one of the things that I found out about butt implants, the biggest place in the world for that is men in Miami.
I think for butt implants
It's
in,
kinda
in
crazy.
the United States, butt implants and Brazilian butt lifts, the number one place is Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more men are getting these butt implants. It's insane. It's kind of wild.
The world of implants is out. What they do nowadays mostly is because of that one person that flipped the butt implant, that went viral. So what they do now is the Brazilian butt lifts, where they do liposuction,
Everywhere.
small waistline, and then
Yeah.
just inject it to the butt. So how do all the skinny girls end up with tiny everything and a big butt? We do injectables, injectables that build their own collagen, and then now there's something called Renuva, where it goes in there, makes little honeycomb web of fat pads, and then your own fat starts to grow. So you have this
Right.
tiny little waist and a huge
Yeah.
hip and butt.
Yeah.
So here's a question before we rip into filters and all of that. Because people ask me these questions. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I can send you to somebody and she'll tell you how it works. Like, for example, I was talking to somebody about microneedling and then vampire facials and then using PRP. And she was trying to tell me what PRP does. And I'm just like, if I took PRP and just rubbed it on your skin topically, it's going to do nothing for you. I'm going to wipe your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing there. So the goodies is what I like to call it. The goodies that are in PRP have to go into to the dermis or the epidermis.
Okay.
And I was like, if you're not a believer in, they're like, well, PRP works in the joints and all that. I was like, because they're injecting it inside your joint. They're injecting it, so when you do microneedling, and I'll let Gohar speak on this, and this is what me trying to talk. I'm like, you're getting a whole bunch of little baby injections into your skin, and you're technically causing trauma to the skin, which causes your
Right.
skin to stimulate collagen production to heal it. And that's where the skin tightens and heals and makes you look youthful. I couldn't explain the concept of the vampire facial because I was like, I don't know what extra that does.
So your question is, what's the difference between vampire facial and microneedling?
And just a regular microneedling.
Okay. So vampire facial is a term when the blood is drawn. That's the name vampire. And you could use PRP or PRF. Now, I stopped using PRP because I see what the results of PRF is. Platelet-rich fibrin. It's more potent. The difference between PRP and PRF, let me quickly talk about that. PRP has no stem cells and lasts about 5-6 hours after injection or applying topical, where PRF lasts about a week, still doing its thing.
It's still
Regular
Uh-oh, he about to knock her out.
Now we got it.
The microphone.
All right.
So regular microneedling can be done with vitamins or whatever. It's just taking that little machine and causing microvascular trauma to the skin. And when there's trauma anywhere, all your body's immune system healing, everything rushes to that area. And then every time there's any trauma, obviously there's needles, you're making collagen. So after microneedling, after doing that, you can either put vitamins, that's
Okay.
regular microneedling, or the vampire facial, because your blood was involved in that. We spin it down, we take whatever plasma layer is necessary, then we apply that topically.
Because that goes in where the needles were.
It does.
Gotcha.
And now there's something else, the Rolls Royce of all microneedling. It's radio frequency microneedling.
Okay.
And what that does is I am able to set the depth of the needle. For example, if we're trying to grow hair, I know your hair follicles are at 0.8 to 0.1 millimeters deep. So not only does it actually pierce your skin, because microneedling just kind of raises your skin.
Okay.
This pierces your skin and it shoots radio frequency there. The kind of radio frequency that they do for ultrasound to heal joints, it shoots radio frequency. And now PRP and PRF can also be applied topically, or something else is now you can start injecting it too. So it's at a deeper layer of your skin.
So now that actually, and this is the conversation I was having, because I was like, I didn't understand the PRP or the PRF on the surface.
So if
And
I
so
were
it
to
made-
put PRP on your skin, there's no trauma. If I put anything on your skin, it's not going to be absorbed.
Right.
Right? There's dead skin cells on it. There's it's not going to be, it's a waste.
Unless it's a lipophilic solution, which basically,
Which PRP is not.
yeah, correct. You know, there's some liposomes where it'll carry medication through the skin topically. Anyway, yeah. But
This is me looking like whatever.
What are they talking about? There's a lot of amazing treatments that could be great for anti-aging, and it doesn't involve any injections. Like microneedling is one of them.
yeah. And so here's another question. Somebody was telling me that, and I didn't understand how this works, using PRP as a filler.
What exactly did they say? Because this is so new, and I'm so happy I'm one of the people that's actually doing that.
And so they were trying to tell me that, yes, I'm getting PRP done underneath my eyes to use it as a filler as opposed to fat or something else. And I was like, well, first of all, in my engineering logical brain, PRP is liquid, and it's not a filling substance. So liquid anywhere else, like PRP is the plasma that you see when you cut your skin and all this stuff. Your body absorbs it. So using it alone as a filler once, you're going to look great the day you get it injected because it's creating some space, but tomorrow it's going to go down. So how does that, because it's new, people were asking me about it, how does that work as a filler? Like, what does that do? And nobody's doing it in the lips as a filler.
So what that person was talking about was not a filler as a PRP. I think there's a lot of confusion about that. The PRP can absolutely be injected under the eye, and it just kind of sits there a little puffy. But what it does is really supercharges your collagen in that area. It goes away, then slowly the collagen starts to form. Now there's something called a biofiller, where not a lot of people are doing that. And you can't do that with PRP. It has to be PRF.
Okay.
So after I draw your blood, we spin it, we separate it. I'm taking the portion of the out, that's the platelet poor part, and then I'm heating that, and then I'm cooling the potent part. And I'll show you a video of it. I have it. This becomes an albumin gel, and this is that potent, powerful stuff. I mix
So
it
albumin
together.
is the
Yeah,
protein,
part of it.
that's in
Okay.
your
And it looks
system.
like a gel. It looks like when you're injecting, it looks like a gel that comes out. So when you mix it together, it actually adds volume. It builds collagen like crazy.
Does it? So the question that gets asked is, how long does it stick around?
So the textbooks say, you want to do this every 3 months and then maintain every year. I like to over-inject, and I tell my patients for about 2 weeks, you're going to look really puffy. And sometimes they like that puffy look. And I've seen it for 6 to 9 months. It's still lasting. And men, especially the macho guys that I don't do both, they love that because mentally in their head, they didn't get any fillers.
Right.
So I'm still all natural.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women, over the age of 40, I recommend less fillers, more biostimulators. That way you keep the shape of your face and you just look the way you did maybe 10 years ago. It's biostimulators.
Interesting.
All natural. You can do it while you're pregnant.
Oh, wow.
It's
Because it's all your own
natural.
stuff.
No reactions, no allergies. It does not come without risks, though.
Interesting.
If you inject it in, like, say, under eye, your infraorbital arteries there,
Right.
that goes into your artery, there could be a retrograde flow into the back of your eye, your retina, and you get blindness.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that with a filler, if you're lucky and act fast enough, possibly you can dissolve that, and the vision can possibly come back.
You can't do
Not
that
gonna
with
happen
this.
So It's a very high risk injection. I do it all the time. Come see me.
There's a lot of micro. Let me ask you this: how do you deal with the micro trauma that people are going through this? Like, this is a level of trauma. You know what I mean? And how this is affecting their lives going out with social media, with everything else. That's trauma as well. I consider all this stuff trauma.
Does the trauma drive them to you?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the physical trauma of the procedure itself, or the mental trauma
the
that
mental
somebody
trauma.
has
The-
from?
The mental trauma that drives them to you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to things like microneedling, it's not so much somebody has some sort of trauma or, like, oh my gosh, I want to look like a certain way. People that are chasing microneedling, they want to age gracefully. The consumer today is so smart. They come in, they know everything. I don't have to explain anything to them. So when it comes to microneedling, they just want to get rid of some of the darkness, some fine lines, just little things. They're not looking to change their face, which is what we're going to get into in a second with all the filters. They just want to age gracefully, and I think microneedling is an amazing treatment, done with PRP or PRF, all natural, all your stuff. I think everybody could use it. They don't have trauma up here. Now, the people that are coming in with actual trauma that want their lips to walk before they do, or their booties to walk before, that's trauma. Body dysmorphic disorder is real.
Where do you think
I see
that?
it all the time.
Where do you think that comes from? Because you don't see it. You see it more in women than men when it comes to facial aesthetics or these body composition things. Men have issues with body dysmorphia when it comes to, and you'll see it in your community.
Yes.
We've talked about this before, the bodybuilding community, the weightlifting community, things like that. They're very, the aesthetic driven industries become body dysmorphic. But the everyday person, what do you think drives them to want more and more and more? Or I saw this woman on IG the other day and I was like, holy shit, a chin that was stuck out to here.
The witch?
You know what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. She had cheeks that are up to here. She had the jawline, not just contoured, but, and she's like this freak of nature, and she's now, and her lips look like, like somebody put like 5 cc's in each lip, and she already had big lips.
Is this the one with overly exaggerated cheeks?
Yes, you know what I'm talking about, right?
She's an aesthetic injector.
Shut up.
I know exactly who you're talking
right?
about.
You get
People talk about her all the time, and another thing that's really important to understand, whether you're getting bad attention, good attention,
you're getting
it's
attention.
You're getting attention.
It's attention. So that's her thing. She's got so much popularity. Everybody knows her because of that. But do you really want to be popular? Because
you look like a freak of nature.
I'll show you. I know exactly who he's talking about.
Like, I know a trainer. She ended up getting injections. She got, I believe, synthol in her arms and her shoulders, and it's sad.
Well, guys get the bicep
They get
implants.
But this is a woman.
Well, not even the implants. Now
She's
they're
a
doing
nice girl.
the injections in their
spot
biceps,
injection,
chest, traps. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What's interesting though, most men who are getting these injections, they never inject below the waist. If you think about it, they don't inject their calves.
I'm going to go into a topic that might be uncomfortable, but there are a lot of men. I stopped doing that. I just want to say, dear husband, I don't inject men below the waist. Just kidding.
I'm not talking about injecting this. I'm talking about their. That's huge. That part I wasn't going there. I was talking about when guys are getting their muscles injected. Yeah, we'll get to that. When they're getting their muscles injected, it's always with synthol, things like that. They're injecting these
spot injection.
They're injecting these oils.
Can you tell, this is your line of work, when you're looking at a guy like at the gym, can you tell this is injected versus a steroid? I could pick up on the steroid bodies because I did the bodybuilding contest, and that's steroids.
Yeah.
But can you tell the injection?
The injections are very noticeable.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah, from a distance, you can tell. It's abnormal.
Because it's not contoured well. You can see it's like, I tried to do bicep.
It's
I
not
tried
like
to do
just all
a
of a sudden
tricep.
full. It's full even at rest.
So there's a whole fullness up here without the deltoids or the tricep. So what's the purpose if it's not going to be contoured?
Well, no, it's contoured. But for example, if I flex and I
It's
get
exaggeration.
a ball, it's an exaggerated. But when my arm is flat at rest, it still has that.
Yeah.
It still has a cannonball, and it's like,
Yeah.
So they have to always sit like flexed.
well, it just looks like they're flexed all the time, even though they're not flexing the muscle because they've injected it. It's kind of like, people get their lips injected so much that they always look like they're pouting. You know what I mean? And it's just
like they like two PVCs hanging out in their lips.
and it's like, at what point, we always say this, at what point is it enough? Will it ever be enough?
It's not going to be enough for that particular person.
Yeah. No matter what they do,
going
right?
back to what you said, the trauma, okay? And you asked me, why do you think they want that? And I have one simple answer for that: insecurities.
Yeah.
And I've been injecting before Instagram era, and of course, everybody wanted their lines gone. They heard we could make your wrinkles disappear, we can do this, and it was great back then. But now, not only so I don't even know where to begin. This is such a big topic. A woman that was once very confident,
Yeah.
is now showing up just like, I want to look like this. So
They're bringing
every
that picture
appointment
in.
that someone comes to me, let's say you're booked for Botox, you're a new patient, right? I'm going to have a nice conversation because I'm trying to gauge where you're at. If I think you're crazy, I'm sorry, let me take that back. If I think you're traumatized, they are crazy, but I think you're traumatized and it's coming from somewhere, I will probably coach you first. Some will appreciate it and some will not. Today I had a conversation with a patient of mine, but it comes from insecurities. It comes from husbands, boyfriends, significant others scrolling down this filtered world. Like, we all use filters. I use filters. Everybody uses filters. But then there's layers to filters.
Right.
If the woman is catching the husband doing this and liking and commenting, every single woman, we are wired that way. We're gonna think, oh, maybe that's what he likes. Okay, let me go pump up my cheeks. Let me do this. Let me get a bigger butt. It all stems from insecurities. Now, I'm not talking about women that actually do need, like, they have receding chin, like a chin, or like they had a stroke,
they're asymmetric.
they have a bells. Cool. I'm talking about gorgeous, stunning women coming in, and when I see a beautiful woman, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then the list of things they go through, I'm just like,
So here's
I'm not the girl for you.
So here's the question.
Insecure.
Maybe women should stop looking at stop looking at his phone.
It's not just his. It's not just his phone.
Well, what I'm saying is stop paying attention to because we as men, we're visual creatures. We look at everything.
And we know that.
We're with you because of you. We're not with you because you look like a 22-year-old model. No, because we know the 22-year-old model doesn't look like that.
Let me twist this around. Mm-hmm. If I'm not looking at your phone, but we used to have a certain relationship when we used to go out, and your attention was here, and all of a sudden your attention is no longer here. There's that lack of communication, that lack of intimacy, because now in your head, you could be that slick husband or slick significant others. You are attracted to something that is really not real.
I'll tell you.
You don't have to look at Instagram photos.
Well, no, what I'll tell you is that, and this is why we do this podcast, because the debate is actually good. He may be, like I said, we're visual creatures. We will look at any woman that walks by, whether she's pretty, ugly, whatever it may be. We'll look because that's just what we do. We're gonna look. We're visually stimulated. Period. We don't care. Honestly, we don't care about how big your lips are. We don't care about your lashes.
You told me that once.
Yeah.
We don't care.
We don't care. We don't even notice most of the time. The times that we notice.
Please speak over there. Let the women know that it doesn't matter.
We notice. I'm going to tell you, we notice when it's overdone.
I mean, think of Arnold.
Yes, we notice when it's overdone. And the thing is, you think, oh, I have to do this to my face and my body to keep my husband's interest. No, you have to communicate your expectations of what you want out of your relationship to keep your husband. Very different. And the man has to do the same. We talked about this earlier on our live today, where we talked about.
Say this is our live all over again.
We talked about the number one reason for divorce isn't infidelity, money, and all that. It's uncommunicated expectations. You don't communicate. If you think there's something with your spouse or the person next to you that isn't, we're not as close as we used to be, instead of making an assumption that it's because of the way I look, ask. Why are we no longer? Because he'll probably not tell you it's the way you look unless you put on 100 pounds. He'll probably tell you there's other things that are making him not, and it may not have anything to do with you. He may be stressed at work. He may be feeling,
for sure,
he may be feeling less of a man. That has nothing to do with the way you look. And so by him telling you that, the number one thing you can do is make him feel more like a man, make him feel more desired, because if he feels more desired, he's going to desire you more. There's an adage, men will fuck anything. So it's not about him not being attracted to you. There's something else.
I think from my years of experience, and I think I'm just a little old enough to know that, there's a gap. There's something missing, and it's almost always never the looks. There was a study that was done about men who were having an affair, and I believe about 80% of the women, 80 women that they were having an affair with, was less attractive than their wives.
I believe that.
Less attractive. So there is something, whether it's
there's a disconnect.
An attention, something is lacking from their significant others, and they choose that. To somebody, it could be the overfilled butt. To somebody, it could be, "Good morning, sweetheart. How are you? Or how was your day?" Something is lacking.
You know what? And where this ends up happening is when kids come into play. Moms tend to focus more.
Topic.
Yeah, moms tend to focus more on their kids, and so it's all about a man needing attention, a woman needing attention.
Yeah,
both. And a lot of times people will, and not in your case because you and your husband still take care of your marriage, take care of each other. There's a lot of people out there who become roommates. You know what I mean? They become roommates because they just start going through the motions. And, I'm busy with the kids. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm busy with work. I'm going to work. I'm coming home. I go to sleep. Honey, you got the kids? Cool.
You become.
Everybody goes through the roommate
it becomes a routine,
phase at
right?
some point, but they pick right back. If you've been married long enough, everybody goes through problems, roommate phase.
Right.
But for some people that lasts, and
they can't get past it.
Yesterday, when my husband said, let's go to Castaway, because it's our thing, we like to do it, I said, why don't we just stay home? We went outside, I made a beautiful cheese board with wine, turned off the light, candle, and there's music. And then my daughters and her friends, guys and girls come in, they were like confused. They're like, one
like,
of
what's
them
going
was
on?
like, what are you guys doing here? Like, they thought it was so not normal. And I was like, well, when you get married and you want to make sure that you do stuff like this, it doesn't matter how old, because to them, we're in our 40s, we're so old. To them, like, we're so old. Like, that's not normal. That is normal. You should do that.
And I always tell people I'm not married.
And they see it.
I'm not married,
It's
but I always tell people you got to continue. You dated your spouse to get them. You got to date your spouse to keep them.
Yeah, it's hard, but I
it's not easy.
Understand what you're saying about, women become so into their kids, and we were supposed to talk about Snapchat filters.
We're going there. We got time. But this is the beauty of a conversation.
So much of is their kids, the sports, everything. Now they're wearing full-blown pajamas to bed. Like, everything that wasn't there before is all of a sudden there. So please, why are you blaming this man? I'm sorry.
Y'all hear that?
Sorry.
Listen.
I'm just speaking.
Listen.
Why are you blaming this guy if he told you 1,000 times, like, can you not look frumpy?
Yeah, right?
Or if the guy doesn't mind, not everything is about looks.
Exactly.
If the guy doesn't mind it, look, I look homeless at home a lot of times. My husband is cool with that. But when I look homeless and it's time to go out, I can transform in a minute. He's cool if I don't transform in a minute. He's cool either way.
But it's about communicating.
Some men are just, like you said, visual creatures. They want their women to look a certain way. I know so many marriages that just tell their women, I see wives of very, all my husband wants is for me to just look pretty.
Yeah.
Tell me how that woman is not going to be traumatized.
Oh, for sure.
She's in my office every month.
For sure, because now they're trying to play catch up. They're trying to keep up.
All my husband wants to do is for you to look pretty. And you've seen this Instagram, like this funny thing they came out, and a woman is walking in with Hermes and Louis bags.
Mm-hmm.
Says, you're married to, you walk into your husband cheating, but he's a billionaire, so
you
close
walk
your
away.
eyes and you walk out. It's real.
Oh, it's very real.
And then you guys expect for women not to go crazy. You call the women crazy all the time on your show. I hear
for
it.
sure.
But can we understand why they're going crazy before blaming them?
Hold on, I don't blame them for being
Take
crazy.
another sip, then we can go at it more.
I'm just saying. So it's not about what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Exactly. Is chicken the man?
We didn't know what I'm saying. We're talking crazy is the chicken.
Exactly.
So did we make you crazy, or was that underlying and then our actions brought it out? And we use the term crazy loosely. It's not crazy. It's just your minds are wired very different than ours.
Yeah.
Of course, yours are wired
We're
totally different
we're simple.
than ours.
Our minds are simple, and women's minds are very complicated. And the reason why they're complicated because you guys think on a higher level than we do.
I love how you clean that up.
No, it's not cleaning up. It's the truth. I say this all the time. Women think on a higher level than we do, and I think evolution has made it such because you guys never had the physical strength to protect yourselves. And so you have to think on a higher level, and you've been given, there's no such thing as male intuition. There's woman's intuition for a reason, because that spidey sense, that little hairs on the back of your neck, is a self-protective mechanism of you physically, emotionally. It's your guard. And women get into trouble when they don't listen to it. And so
He's on one today.
No, and so it's really,
This is the everyday thing.
to say that women are crazy, if you really think about it, we call things crazy that we don't understand. And just because we don't understand it doesn't mean there's not a good reason for it. We just don't understand it. So the only way we can talk about it is, it's crazy. We don't understand why you do things that maybe aren't logical, but they emotionally make sense to you. So
that's just crazy.
So in your mind, right? So in your mind, it's logical.
You call a woman crazy, or you tell a woman to calm down. Watch what happens.
I would never say calm down.
Or you're crazy.
Because
you don't do that, but we
that's a fight.
We say,
I'm married, I know.
We say we jokingly say women are crazy. We jokingly say women are crazy because everything we don't understand, it's easy to say it's crazy.
I don't say calm down. I think
with women, and I speak for all women that have husbands that call them crazy sometimes. This includes my husband. Gohar, you're crazy. And my answer to that is simply shut up and walk away, because I don't want to, as Gino says, go for the jugular at that point. But
would it be better if he said you're acting crazy as opposed to saying you're crazy?
No, I think it would be better
if he just shut the hell up and walk away.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. I think if I'm saying something because I'm a woman, I am wired differently. We are more emotional. You guys are more logical. Now, my husband wants to put what do you call that? That little plug over there.
Yeah.
Because he's logical, it makes sense. To me, I don't want to see that shit. Hide it.
But what's weird is we become more emotional when the logic doesn't fit.
I am yet waiting for that.
Like if we'll kind of lose it. It's like we kind of fizzle when that logic.
I feel you, but nobody wants an emotional man.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I got that.
Because
I'm
we're
saying
the
that,
emotional
but I'm
ones.
saying yeah.
Because we're emotional man, we need you to come and hold us and say, it's going to be okay.
But you guys are very emotional in that moment. We get
but
perfect
this is
example.
This is DNA.
Yes.
Just understand it and accept it.
Yeah. No. I'm a divorcee.
Accept it because you'll never understand it.
As a divorcee as well. So, like, you guys get over it within that year, that dynamic of marriage. Men, it's a carryover because we're trying to figure out what the hell happened to us. What the hell happened? Where did I mess up? Where did I fail from that marriage? That's what happens with us, and then it becomes a psychological.
So here's a question.
I wanted to answer your question.
Yeah.
How about that filter?
Yeah.
Because when you brought up divorce, I was going to lead into how much does this shit play into
Relationships.
relationships?
I think Instagram breaks relationships all day long.
Yeah,
And
right?
it's not just the filtered.
No.
But I wanted to say something for if there are any men listening, coming from a married woman. He said, if your husband's saying you're crazy, would it be better if he said you're acting crazy? No. Do not use the word crazy. You can say something like this.
I'm learning here.
Ready?
I'm ready.
I could see where you're coming from. I could see your point of view.
But what if he can't?
It's okay. No. Just say it, okay? Just
Listen, single
say
guy,
it.
you don't have nobody.
Right.
Listen, I'm
Thank
trying to
you.
hear this. Shut your face sometimes, son.
Look, I can understand where you're coming from, but still you can turn around and say, but I don't agree with it because. Now that is an amazing conversation and it connects you both together. You can debate. But when you're saying you're crazy, that tells me that I have no more motivation to go and tell you how I feel about it. I don't want to talk to you because you just called me crazy. But if you said something like, I could see where you're coming from. I don't agree with it. Cool. You did not tell me crazy. You still validated where I'm coming from. You still said, I don't agree with you. I'm okay if you don't agree with me. That's difference of opinion, and I appreciate that. Don't call me crazy.
This is one of my favorites. This is what I'm hearing. Help me understand it.
Thank you. See how words are so powerful.
So
One point.
I love when I spark conversation. I have never been in a discussion with a woman and called her crazy. And I've never even been in a discussion with a woman and said, you're
but you
acting
came and told
crazy.
me that bitch was crazy.
Oh, I'll talk about you later. I will talk about your ass later. Don't get it twisted. But I've learned in my 50 years on this planet that no woman wants to be told to calm down or be told she's crazy.
Absolutely not.
And
We just want to understand.
Or smile.
Even if you don't understand.
Why don't you smile more? They definitely, don't tell a woman that.
or you
don't look good on
or
you.
you look tired.
Okay.
Dude.
We don't say that.
At ever.
What?
That's violence.
That's another podcast of terms not to say to a woman.
She's coming back for that.
Don't.
You gonna come back for that?
Yeah, I will. You look tired? That's a really good
Yeah, that's a good
I think
one.
guys actually have learned not to say that. You want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Are you pregnant?
Oh, come on. You
No,
know.
no,
You never.
Never.
You know.
You never.
You know.
Yes.
But this is not something that men say to women. It's women saying to women.
Yes.
Are you? Oh my God, you're so. I can't get my mother to stop doing that. I think she has. But she says it in such a nice way. Like, oh my God, you're so
Right. No, you just know. Unless you know for sure that they are pregnant, you
know,
don't
you
mention
went to their
pregnancy.
baby shower?
Right.
Yes.
You don't mention pregnancy.
There's a lot of things you don't want to say
No.
to women. Even if it's true, you should say it. A woman can act psychopath crazy. You know that. We see it. I would say that she's crazy.
But I wouldn't say it to
Do
her.
not say it to her.
I will come here and tell you guys,
wanna save
dude,
that relationship.
she's crazy. I will never look at you and be like, you're crazy. That's just, you looking for a fight for no reason.
So how do you filter that crazy?
Stay tuned for the next episode.
No, I'll tell you, we've talked about this before, like how women come to you with a problem and we always want to fix it. And I always say, you know what? Start asking this question. Do you want me to listen or do you want me to fix it? Do you want me to hear you out or do you want me to give you a solution? And then that gives them, well, no, I just want you to hear me for now. And then if they want the solution, they'll ask you later. I've learned that one and that one works.
How about the solution that you give them? They're not. They don't want to hear that.
Most of the time, the truth doesn't want to be heard. So here's a question. Where do you see filters, not just filters, let's talk about social media in general, the role that it's played in connecting people and separating people. And do you think the Snapchat filters, the filters that they use now, I mean, all these apps that you can just change who you are, do you think that's brought people together or has pushed people apart?
I think social media in general is a double-edged sword. There's great things about it. I mean, look at, I could see my nephews and my nieces from across the world. They're doing great. There's people that meet on social media. They get married. So
Right.
there's great things about it. And then there's the ugly side of social media where the filters, the realistic expectations of beauty, not just facial filters. Can we also talk about filtered lifestyle, curated
Yes.
filtered lifestyle when
Yes.
your friends are going out first business class to Dubai, and then they course 54 stories about every meal they had, and they're Hermes and Louis Vuitton bags. That's filtered in another way, but in reality they're like fighting together.
Yes.
And then there's that when you go out to dinner, don't eat first, honey. Let me take a picture.
Oh my God.
I mean, what happened to the connection?
Putting your phone down.
I am guilty of that. I used to be like that until I sit down and I thought about, my husband never really said anything, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, that's not okay. So when I'm going out to dinner, this phone it's here.
Same place.
It's
Mine
here.
sits right here.
It's nowhere on there because now you're losing that intimacy, that connection that you
Human
once had. Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok, they robbed that from normal relationships. How about at night when your wife kisses you goodnight, says, "Good night, sweetheart," goes to bed, and then scrolls down Instagram, sees some funny shit, and the husband's over there watching TV. His phone goes bing, 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 because his wife said goodnight, but
Now she's scrolling.
She's disconnected from
now
you,
that could have
but
been
she's
time
still connected
together,
to her.
right? That human connection is lost. I think Instagram can be great, but at the same time, it's breaking relationships. So now this guy's sitting over there, another night, my wife can't, but she's in her bed scrolling Instagram and TikTok.
So here's the question.
Breaking communication.
Now that we're in a social media world, the next generation, your daughter, your son, this is what they know. So how they connect is very different. Like, for example, love the story of how her and her husband met. That would never happen today because people don't communicate, or that pursuit.
My daughter says it's you guys are cavemen.
Yeah,
It
that
doesn't
pursuit.
happen anymore.
Right, it doesn't happen
There's
like
no
that,
pursuit.
right? No. And which is very
Always
different.
going to be pursuit.
Very different from the chase. I always say a pursuit is necessary because what ends up happening is the person you're pursuing kind of lets you know you're gonna possibly catch me. A chase means that person's running away. If you're having to chase somebody, they don't want you. You actively pursue them and pursue their interest and hope to gain it. Very different than chasing someone. Because when you think of a chase, I'm not going to catch this person. Why am I chasing them? You shouldn't have to chase somebody.
Some people like that chase, like that hunt, and once they catch them, they're like, "Oh,
But they're not. But that's the pursuit, and people need to. A woman should pursue a man just like a man pursues a woman, but differently. And this is the problem, and I'll tell you.
I know you're gonna tell us.
Well, no, it's not. It really isn't. It's not about pursuit in the common sense. It's like, yeah, we're going to chase you. We're going to go after you, but you also have to do things to pursue me and keep my interest. Because exactly, that's what I mean. So it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
And so many mistakes are made by thinking, "Oh, if I'm just pretty, let me become the prettiest person I am." That's enough. And it's not. It's not enough.
You might not remember this, but one day you actually told me, we were talking about, I'm not sure if this is appropriate to talk about it. You were talking about a spine rep, how gorgeous or whatever she was.
Choose wisely.
I'm not saying who.
You
but,
choose wisely.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump forward. You said, being pretty, will probably get you one case. When I'm missing
Yes.
the stuff in between, but that's all you get with just being pretty.
Correct.
It's the intro.
If you want to keep going and be, let's say, get most of my case, it ain't gonna be being pretty. It has to be a little step.
You got to know your shit.
Yeah. We talked about it on the live.
Being
Talked
pretty
about
gets you
everything.
so
It's
far.
about knowing your shit. It's you. Look, you just can't sign your name.
by the
Being
way-
pretty is just going to get you a hello, but it's not going to get a conversation.
Right.
Or it's going to get a conversation drop because you're like, oh, I won't keep pursuing this.
Or how about
If
you
you're a
see
person
a
of
pretty
substance.
woman or a very handsome man, and you say one word and sentence to them, and you're just like, oh,
Can ruin the whole.
Yeah.
just sit there and look pretty and don't talk.
There's been many a times when I've met people, and as soon as they open their mouth, I'm like, you had such potential.
Yeah, exactly.
You really did. We could go on and on about this conversation. There's definitely going to be a part 2. We need to talk about
What not to say to women.
what not to say to women.
When not to say it. Most important.
What not to say and when not to say it.
But the fact that we did squeeze in the whole filtration
Yo, for sure.
and the Instagram and just
And the thing is, people think, like
TikTok.
Gohar was saying, people think filters are just physical filters.
Exactly.
You have, like I said, you have the social life filter.
right, exactly.
People portraying that they have more than they do. They're portraying that their relationships are perfect. You know,
I had somebody, not a friend. If this was a friend, I wouldn't talk about it because again, you're my friend. You know, whatever you want, mine is yours. Somebody that was just kind of like, whatever, came to me and said, do you mind if I borrow a certain jewelry that, she's seen me wear on whatever social media I wear? I found that very odd, but I said, I knew her through relatives or whatnot, so I was like, sure, you can borrow it. She posts the shit out of.
She had to, yeah.
She has
post the shit out of your
Has
stuff.
Your stuff,
She
yeah.
has
Yeah.
it. So how filtered is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you weren't mentioned at all, were you?
Oh no.
No,
I
why-
would not
she
wanna be
wouldn't.
Why would you do
mentioned.
that?
No, that's hers.
Oh, I'm,
Yeah,
What
this is
was
her
I
shit.
thinking?
That's her stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
So again, it's not like a facial appearance filter. It's a different kind of a filter that people portray and make us believe like, oh my God,
They're living their best
they're
life.
living their best life. But little do you know that they're
It's
going
all-
through a divorce.
Yeah.
And this is just that woman's way of just, forgetting about things. Sometimes people put stuff on Instagram that is completely filtered and just complete a big lie. It's because this is their way of healing. This is their way of crying for help.
But are they
I
actually
was about to
healing?
say,
And their
that's what
insecurity.
the second part, what she said,
What did
is
you
the
say?
cry for help.
Yeah.
No, you said healing, like, yeah.
Yeah, everybody
It's a cry for
heals
help.
completely differently. We see people that are going through cancer, and what they do is just living their best life on social media. But what happens when that light goes off? Really?
Yep.
It's
kind of
very sad. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword. We got great, but then we don't. We just constantly are waiting for some sort of a validation from either
It can be-
friends, significant others, where I never really cared for your validation, but now I'm coming to you.
Right.
Why didn't you say, Gohar, you look pretty? Why aren't you validating?
Why didn't you
feel
like
I
my
need
photo?
to be validated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. Like my daughter would say, that's a thing. People want to be validated. And thanks to social media and their beautiful filters, it's messed up everything for
instant
a lot
likes.
of people.
Instant likes, instant comments.
Oh, instant likes, instant comments. Do you know that there's plenty of organizations that you can go, and they're out of different countries, so for pennies on the dollar, you can purchase likes, you can purchase views, you can purchase comments. This is how badly you want to be validated.
Wow.
Yep.
It's there. We're all guilty. Like I said, I use Snapchat filters. I like to be validated. But if I didn't have Snapchat filters, you knew me before that.
Yeah.
If I didn't have your validation, I'm cool still.
Exactly.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I might be a little salty that you didn't say your hair looks pretty today.
Right.
But it's not going to break
might rub
me
me
my
a kind of-
day. It's not going
Exactly.
to mess my day up. I'm not going to go say, ooh, last time we saw, Lela said your brows look nice. He didn't say it. Something's wrong with my brows. I'm getting my brows reshaped. Go to Erica and fix my goddamn brow.
And not because somebody said something negative.
No,
they
it's
just
because
didn't
they
say anything,
didn't
something
say it.
positive.
They didn't say it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Verbally.
Yeah. G, thank you for definitely coming in to hang out with us today. Do me a favor. Let's talk about where people can find you. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Go Flawless Now. You can find me at goflawlessnow.com. My Instagram is at goflawlessnow. That's my main page. I also have a skincare line, which I am working on product number 2, 3, and 4. I have created a lip product, which is now appeared in 14 medical spas.
The lip
Yeah.
moisturizer thing.
It's amazing, and that's our extra news. So if you guys need anything, if you're looking for an actual genuine opinion of what you need, what you don't need, I will never lie.
Go find her, y'all. She's great at what she does. Coach, where they gonna find you, man?
And they're going to find me on Instagram.
Where?
Coach KJ knows. Coach KJ knows. Yeah,
Too
that's
much
it.
tequila.
Duh. Haven't had a whole lot to say.
You're gonna find me at Lionel Hunt, and we're out.
Deuces.